Good evening. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing okay. 7 minutes behind. Do apologize. And welcome to our Chit Chat Chew show, where I'm one of the co-hosts, Aisha, also known as Jade.
And your other co-host, Uno.
So this evening, we have a really hot topic, the tea, as everybody wants to say. So if you have your tea, your glass of wine, or whatever you may be drinking on, wherever you're at, we welcome you. This is a very sensitive topic. Everyone's going to have different views or opinions, comments, and thoughts about this. And the topic that we're going to be speaking about this evening is Jasmine Eiland case and the names who surround her rape situation. And so, if you've been keeping up with the current news, this just happened not too long ago in the Atlanta, Georgia area, where this lady, Jasmine Eiland, was at a nightclub here in Atlanta called Opera Lounge or the Opera Club, and they're saying that she got attacked, she got raped, and so we're just, again, I'm personally going to stay as neutral as possible, because I don't want to necessarily pick sides, but I also don't want to disregard what did happen or what could have happened. So I'm really wanting to, and it's not being unsensitive on my part. I am a rape survivor myself. And so I just we're going to be talking about different avenues of this case. So thank you guys for whoever tunes in. If you're not capable of listening to this live right now, make sure that you listen to the replay once it is available. Please, we ask anyone that comes on, leave your comments, leave your thoughts, leave your views, share how you feel. And because we definitely want to have dialogue about this topic that happens a lot, too much. So we're going to just dive into the situation. And if you want to start off.
I'll let you start first.
Okay. So again, we're going to be talking about Jasmine Eiland's case. And they're saying alleged that she got raped by this guy that was in the club. His name is Dominique Williams. And so let's just kind of jump into it. And of course, all of the articles that we're going to be speaking from are going to be posted up as well. So it says here, the caption, this was posted January 21st. And this is coming from the dailyhaze.com. Says video shows Jasmine Eiland raped in Opera Atlanta on Facebook Live. They may have already taken it down. I'm not sure. Have they taken this down already? This video of this incident happening?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. So there is, I believe it looks like there is.
But if you happen to get the video, the people that do YouTube channels, then you're very fortunate. But I'm not too sure about that, so I'm not going to assume.
So it looks like it says here that now all of the videos that was in here in this article, the videos are unavailable. So this moving kind of slow. Okay. So it's saying a Facebook Live, which was out there, a Facebook Live video from Eiland caught the moment she claims to have been raped inside the Atlanta Opera Club. Eiland said she was not allowed to delete the videos due to an investigation. In another Facebook Live, Eiland says they found her attacker. So in the middle of what appears to be a busy nightclub, Jasmine Eiland captured the horrifying moment she was raped on her Facebook Live. Her story is one that shows just how quickly a rape can occur. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, some of the responses give a closer look at victim blaming and rape apologists in America. On January the 19th, Eiland went live on Facebook several times from Opera Atlanta, according to EDM. In her first video, she is seen drinking a drink off to the side of the dance floor. Eiland greets several people and is heard saying, "I don't smoke. I don't even drink, but I'm having a drink." A little later in the video, Eiland says, "I'm getting drunk as fuck." Overall, the 28-minute video looks like a pretty typical start to the night at any nightclub in America. In a second Facebook Live, a little later, Eiland is seen on the dance floor. Eiland is singing and dancing and beginning to enjoy her night. She has no drink in hand and appears for the most part to be coherent throughout the 16-minute video. About 6 minutes into this video, we first see Eiland's attacker, whose identity has yet to be confirmed, taking interest in her. He eventually makes his way to her and the two begin talking. Her attacker asks who she is at the club with, and she tells him she is by herself. She goes on to tell the man it's her birthday. The man is seen getting something out of her hair, then encouraging Eiland to have another, referring to another drink. Eiland cuts the conversation shortly after and begins singing along with the song while dancing with the man. Towards the end of the video, the man is heard asking what she wants to drink, which her response is vodka and something sweet. The man walks out of view of the video and Eiland continues to dance by herself for the last 2 minutes. In the third Facebook Live, the man is back in the video and Eiland has a drink in her hand. The two appear to be talking on the side of the dance floor, then begin dancing again. They appear to be having a decent time. The man stays behind Eiland, grinding on her whenever possible. At the end of the video, Eiland says to Facebook Live, "I gotta go, y'all. This drink is fucking me up." The drink the man got her appears to be not even half gone. And quick sidebar, I'm reading from what these articles are saying. If you have a problem with me using the curse words that are said, that's not my problem. You can certainly just remove yourself. If this is too much for you, please, by all means, I'm not looking to trigger anybody. You can remove yourself. Please, if there are anybody that's definitely under 18, please remove yourself. This is adult conversation. This is an adult situation. And again, if you cannot handle it, with all due respect, just please remove yourself from this Facebook Live.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Thank you. So, shortly later, Eiland goes live to Facebook once again. She appears to still be drinking the same drink. The man is still hovering close by. And in this video, Eiland seems much more intoxicated than any of the previous videos. Even her ability to do a Facebook Live seems severely impaired. As Eiland begins looking more and more impaired, the man behind her continues to get closer and closer, at times appearing to kiss her on the neck. Around the 9-minute mark, we can see Eiland still has around half a drink left. While it is said Facebook deleted the original video at some point on Monday, social media users have been sharing screen captures of the video calling for justice for Jasmine. In the video, Eiland is seen looking up with her mouth open. She lets out a scream that is practically unheard due to the music at the club. The man is seen over her shoulders. Eiland appears to possibly be bent over as she lets out another scream, then says, "Help me." Oops. The video continues and Eiland is heard saying, "Help me," over and over again. She then begins screaming again and saying, "Please stop." Eiland is heard saying and screaming, "Stop," multiple times. Okay, so as Eiland's story went viral, sadly, with little surprise, people began trying to find a way to blame her, covering all the basic arguments that most rape apologists bring up. These arguments include, I'm just going to say Jasmine. Jasmine being intoxicated and making poor choices. She shouldn't have been dressed how she was, and her behavior had her asking for it. Some have used a video of Jasmine dancing wildly by herself as a means of justifying her attack. The reality of the situation is anything she had done before the point of saying no or stop does not matter. Once a person in a situation like this tells their partner to stop for whatever reason, if their partner does not stop, it becomes one of two things according to the law: either rape or sexual assault. Regardless of how many drinks she has had, or even if she was in the middle of consensual sex. When someone says no or stop, everything is supposed to come to a screeching halt. Some have speculated that Jasmine was drugged, which is very likely possible. The effects of common date rape drugs can come on the victim very quickly. Jasmine being drugged would explain her saying the drink the man gave her was getting her more fucked up than her previous drink or drinks. Jasmine also appears to be coming in and out of her incoherence. Another warning sign that she was possibly giving something besides alcohol. On Monday morning, Jasmine did another Facebook Live from her car. In the video, she says she is not going to address any of the negative statements. She then clears up speculation that a man she took a picture with earlier in the day is not the same guy. Jasmine said she was not able to take the videos down due to possibly hindering the investigation. Jasmine ends the video by saying she is going to be all right and give thanks to those supporting her on social media. And that's that article.
Oh, well. Oh my God, there's so much to say about this situation because it's so convoluted in many theories and accounts and witnesses giving their own testimony about it, their feelings about what they seen in the opera club, nightclub. I mean, like Jade, I'm staying neutral with Jasmine's situation. Like, all the angles can have truth to it. All angles can have truth. You know, I mean, if you point out each scenario, you know, the video looks like she did get sexually assaulted. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, there's certain people who said, well, let me just say this. One of the witnesses say, well, no, actually, is more than one witness. It's like two or three witnesses who say they didn't see where where Jasmine was raped. Like they just assumed that Jasmine and Dominique, the accused rapists, were just having sex and having a good time. You know, they had a lot of drinks and Jasmine was messed up. And I don't mean like messed up as in like mentally messed up or spiritually. I mean just drunk, messed up. So they didn't think none of it. You know, they like again they were dancing on each other, touched on each other. They said Jasmine was moaning, so they didn't assume anything. You know, they just thought they was together and they was just having a good time. But uh, again, me watching the video, it just really looks like she got sexually assaulted to a degree. And if she did get that messed up and Dominique continued to force herself on her, then that's not cool either. Like, just because a woman is she's still, or she's not saying anything, or there's no movement, doesn't mean that's a yes. It could be a no in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, he should have just stopped. And even if she was drunk anyway, because she was drunk into the whole, like, as soon as she got there, started drinking, and then by the time it was getting close to the end of, you know, opera closing down, she was like wasted, like she was gone. So, but if you see a woman I'm talking about not to the point where you're wasted, but to the point of you getting too drunk and you see a woman drunk, like, men, I advise you just to leave that alone. I just advise you to leave them women alone. You see a drunk woman, do not bother her. The last thing you want is to get accused of something, or you know, or there's men that are predators who seek out victims like that, who seek out vulnerable people. So I'm just saying, men, you got to be careful, and women, you got to be careful. I mean, putting yourself out there for anything to happen. You know, no one's condoning rape. You know, everybody has different views. Like, everybody's not gonna agree on the same thing. I just feel like with Jasmine, that could have been handled a lot better to avoid from her getting raped. No one. And see, the thing is, people think, oh, people saying things to justify rape. No, that's not justifying it. I'm just saying there could have been there's action that could have been taken. Like, there's things she could have done different to avoid getting into a trap. That's all people are saying. No one's saying she should get raped. No one's condoning rape. No one's saying she deserves it. I'm saying there's steps you can take to avoid things like that. You know, if you're coming to the club, advertise yourself. I mean, men is gonna flock to that. I mean, come on. I mean, a man's gonna be a man. I mean, what else you want him to be? You know, but your job is just to navigate through all that. Your job is just to make sure nothing happens to you. You know. Jasmine getting back at her ex-husband because he was cheating on her and abusing her. So her way of getting back at him was to go in a club and find some men to dance on and have sex with, and excuse me, get wild in the club, have a good time. But it backfired. I mean, not only people thinking that Jasmine, there's some people who really think she got raped, and there's some people who don't think she got raped at all. Just from how the timeline of everything that's took place, kind of before the opera nightclub situation and after the situation. So, I mean, her getting back at her ex just didn't help the situation at all. Because even if it didn't happen, she just wanted to get back at him, and if it's, you know, if it is true that Jasmine and Dominique had a thing at that time in the club. So you using that situation as a come up to get publicity and money, that just makes it worse for people who are really are rape victims who who are afraid or just don't want to speak out about what happened to them. So I'm saying it's a double-edged sword. I mean, she got raped, and people have something to say. You know, if she knows she didn't get raped but set the man up, people have something to say. But her actions, like that wasn't necessary for her to get her ex back in that manner. I feel like she could have just. I understand. This is the thing. We understand that you're mad. I get it, because women can be bitter. Like relationships, they can be mad and bitter, and they want to get revenge, and that's the whole plan. Like that's their mind is set on that because they're so scorned and hurt that that's the only way they can lash out. But we can't keep using that as an excuse though, because that can ruin people's lives, not only yourself but other people. Because you putting other people in your nonsense. So I feel like if he was cheating and beating on her, then why would you even win him? Like if he was doing that, just leave him alone. Move on with your life. Focus on yourself. Focus on your health. All together. Focus on succeeding. Focus on just rebuilding yourself back. You know what I'm saying? Go through the pain. Go through the emotions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't go through it, but I'm just saying you have to channel it. Like, because getting revenge, what is that doing? You just bringing karma to yourself. It just makes everything worse. And then her, from what I've heard, dancing with different guys before she even got to Dominique. Before she even got to Dominique, he didn't come until later on in the night. Like she didn't get up on him till later in the night. But she was already dancing up on other dudes and talking with him and all this. And talking about her ex-husband that, he ain't this, he ain't that, and he's a cheater and a wife beater, and she over him, and she ready to, turn up. Even with that, she should have just took time to herself, and then twerking after the rape, the alleged rape. That makes people not want to believe Jasmine, because like, why would you twerk after you got raped? I'm not saying everybody's supposed to act the same in rape situations. No one is saying that, because people do act irrational, and if rape has happened to them, like everybody doesn't think the same or act the same. Like maybe that was just a way of blocking it out, or just I guess trying to deal with it in that moment until she left. I don't know. That could be a possibility. I'm not just gonna cancel out and say, oh, she wrong for handling like that. Well, she shouldn't have handled like that. I just feel like that's weird. You twerk after you got raped, but you'd be surprised what people do in strange circumstances. So there's a lot of things she could have done better. And then I've heard they say she was pregnant while she was drinking. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is true, that's definitely not what's up. Like that shouldn't even been on her mind to go on no club and drink it. I'm saying if it's true that she was pregnant and went to our nightclub to drink and have sex. Like I just don't. That just wasn't a good idea at all. You're endangering the welfare of your child, and that's irresponsible. Oh yeah, it's just a lot of. It's a lot, and I have some things that I actually was watching. I took some notes, so I'm gonna actually read this, coming from witnesses who had their own accounts of what happened from their angle, from their point of view, and how they feel about it. So, well, first I want to start with the woman that came forward. She's anonymous, so I don't know her name, and a lot of people don't know her name. She just made a post, and I didn't make it my business to go search for her page, just whatever. So, some people did, but she did do a video recently of giving her accounts of getting raped by Dominique Williams. It didn't happen in no club. It just happened in his house. So, all right. So I'm going to read the things she said.
Can I do a quick before you jump into that? So first I want to just say thank you, Judith. Judith gets it, Robert. thank you for giving a thumbs up. And I also want to give um, my condolences to a co-worker of mine um, that she just lost her sister yesterday to a brain aneurysm. And she was also pregnant. They had to take the child, I believe it was last Thursday or last Friday. They had to do an emergency C-section on her sister. She had a baby boy, but she did pass away. She did transition yesterday. So I just want to give my condolences to Ariel. I won't give out her full name and none of that, but to Ariel. Um, I pray for your family and the other family, the guy's family as well, because everyone is affected by that. So I pray for your healing, everybody's healing, because that's just something that just happened. This was nothing that had been going on. It seems like there were some other things, but it wasn't associated with that. And then she just got a phone call that she had to go out of state for her sister. So many prayers to you and your family, as well as the extended family also.
My condolences also go out to you and your family. I mean, that's really tragic. Like, that's
So much.
it's sad.
That's very sad.
But I send my positive vibes, condolences to you and your family, and hope y'all, just stay up and make it through, and just go about life. Got to keep going, keep going for the child. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And just celebrate the loved one that you lost. Every day, because life is so short, man. That's why I just don't understand what people be doing. Like, just in general, the things they do in the world, I just don't understand. Like, life is so precious. Like, you're on thin ice every day. As humans, we're on thin ice every day. You just never know when it's your time to go. So you just have to appreciate it for what it's worth and just live to the best of your ability.
Absolutely. This case is so much right now.
Even with this, I mean,
this too. This is a lot.
I want to say with her family, like, and that's the thing, if Jasmine is responsible for setting up dudes, I'm talking about this her past, but what her family's saying, well, really, I mean, Jasmine was a foster kid, so even though that's her blood family, I believe so. Her blood family was saying, she has a history of setting up dudes, so if that's true, then she needs to reevaluate a lot of things in her life. Like, yeah, so that's a mistake she's making there. Like, so if it turns out to be true that Dominique was accused of something that he didn't do, then she has a lot going on in her life. She needs help. Like, seriously needs help. Like, she can possibly destroy this man if he's not guilty of a rape. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying if it comes out one day and it's not true about the rape situation that happened in the nightclub, in the opera nightclub, then I have to look at her sideways. Like, because again, like, she just made too many mistakes. And I mean, I point out a few, but that one there, like.
And it's unfortunate.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No. Go finish, please.
Nah, that's very unfortunate. Again, that's taking a life. You're not appreciating your own life. Here you just said someone who lost a sister, from giving birth. Then here you got this, I'm not saying it's true. Here you got this heifer over here accusing someone of rape. If it's true that it's not and you're about to take someone's life. You're not appreciative of life, period. Yeah, so I mean, with a family, an ex-boyfriend, you know, I know Jasmine attempted suicide on her life because of just all the backlash she got from this whole situation, and even being out in public and people recognize her and they have things to say. So that definitely could take a toll. It's very overwhelming of people just coming at you constantly, constantly. And everybody's not mentally able to handle that. So I will say, I'm sure that that could be definitely true, possibly true that she did attempt suicide. I believe that. That I definitely believe. Um, I would just say she just need to take some time to get herself together. 'Cause clearly, she just really all over the place. She's like very dysfunctional.
Yeah, she would be dysfunctional. And again, let me just try to keep it as neutral as possible. Because unfortunately there are so many people, there are so many women in general in this world that falsely accuse people of sexually attacking them and or raping them, which to me is the same damn thing.
It's still rape.
It's still rape, and it's not consensual. And there are quite a few stories that have been told that these women say that they have been attacked, and they accuse these innocent men who wind up going to jail for years, and then down the line these years a story comes up that it's not true. And so this man has spent most of his life behind bars in prison for a woman that has lied on them because she's scorned. We as women can get real scorned. We're torn, and what Uno said as well. And we a lot of times unfortunately make real messed up poor ass choices, right? And again, I'm not trying to take anything from her, because I just, you know, if it goes down and it's true, it's really, really messed up.
Then his ass.
Then he deserves what he gets.
That Dominique bastard need to go.
He deserves what he gets.
Lock away. Just throw away the key. Lock him away.
But if she lied and she's been doing this to other guys, and if she lied on this man, she needs some help. She needs some serious help. I'm really to believe that she is a domestic violence victim.
Oh, that's definitely true. That's out there.
That she, I don't know. Every victim reacts differently. A lot of times the women stay, and unfortunately they keep getting physically, mentally, financially, sexually, and spiritually abused, and don't get out of that relationship and think that that man is going to change. The ultimate worst is they get killed, right? Or they wind up killing. And it's just an unfortunate thing all the way around. And because I'm a victim and I've experienced domestic violence from a man once upon a time, from a woman once upon a time, this is one of those topics that's sensitive to me. And I want to, again, stay as neutral as I can and be understanding, but at the same time, like you said, as far as her pregnancy, if she is pregnant, that is fucked up. I can't say it no other way. That is fucked up.
Let's put it out there. Disclaimer: if she's pregnant.
Disclaimer: if she was pregnant, or if she is pregnant and she's going out there doing what she's doing, then her ass need to be put somewhere, because you are doing damage to that unborn child. You are potentially bringing a child into this world who will have psychological, physical problems. You're being selfless and selfish if, disclaimer, that is to be true. So it's so much, like you said, like you're going to be talking about. It's so much. And why would she go to a club?
But she didn't go by herself, and that's another
Right.
That's another rumor that was put out there that was not true. She actually went with friends. From what the witnesses say, she was there with friends. So.
And we all know, come on, we didn't all been to the club. Come on, chicks. Come on, women. Come on, let's be real with ourselves. We didn't went, especially us girly ones, okay? Us femmies, us lipstick, us stiletto women. We have gone to clubs a lot of times. Some of y'all haven't worn no panties and y'all wear that skimpy ass shit, real short, that you know, you don't even have to bend over and you see your ass. Now let's just really be honest with ourselves. It doesn't condone nobody putting their hands on us, but a lot of women have gone to the club and you wear your club gear. Okay?
But like you about to pick up something.
But like you trying to pick up something. Let's just be honest. But I'm not condoning for her to get attacked. That's not what I'm doing. Okay? But this is just this.
Because again, if Dominique did that, which he probably did to a degree, that he needs to be locked in prison. Period. Like this, him being a serial rapist cannot go on. He's sick. He needs to be locked up, and his child needs to be taken away from him because he has custody of his 2 kids. He needs his children taken away from him and put in someone else's care. I mean, not in the system or anything, but possibly with some family members that would look out for the kids,
right,
and ensure their well-being and making sure they're okay.
And we know also
so let's not make it seem like it's we siding with Jasmine all, I mean not siding with Jasmine in this. I'm just saying we're looking at this from all angles and being reasonable to the whole situation.
And also, let's just be honest. I've been in clubs where they having sex right on the dance floor.
They do it all the time.
They do it all the time. And again, I'm not condoning. Disclaimer, I'm not condoning anything bad to happen to Jasmine. But these things go on. These things go on. People see it. People don't do nothing. They having sex on the dance floor. They having sex in the bathroom. They doing all kinds of things. It's just so messed up. But okay, go ahead. My fault.
You straight?
Go ahead. My fault.
So this anonymous woman came forward about Dominique Williams. All right. So from what I gathered from the video, she met this dude on Facebook. All right. After she made a post about being single, she reached out to Dominique in January 2018. He was in her inbox, but the anonymous woman never responded back to him. Dominique reached out to her again in August. Then the final time in September, she finally responded to him in September because Dominique FB called her. So yeah, she questioned Dominique about FB calling her. And that's when they began to develop their conversation. Like they grew into a whole, talking and conversating and whatnot. They planned a date after a couple of days of conversation. Once the date came around, Dominique forwarded the victim his address. The victim meets him at his house, jump in one of his cars. So when the victim meets him at the house, she drove there, meet him at his house. She got out, parked it or whatever, and they went on their date. So she jumped in one of his cars. He drove there. They went out on a date. They ate and had drinks. So she said she had 2 drinks. They hung out for a while, where they was eating and having drinks. When it was time to go, she hopped into Dominique's car and drove and he drove themselves back to his house. Within that time frame, she felt woozy, so she could not drive, but Dominique was a designated driver. Dominique told her to cool off at his house until her being woozy blows over, so the victim crashes at his place. However, she is aware that her car is outside of his house, so keep that in mind that her car is parked outside the house. That was before they went to go eat and drink. Her chilling at Dominique's house was nothing. She didn't think none of it. It was all good. We all know, let's be real now. We all went on some dates and went over folks' house and chilled and all that. So let's not act brand new like we never done it with a stranger, okay? Because I've done it plenty of times with women. So It ain't nothing.
Been there, done that too.
Right.
Let's not act like we all perfect, because we haven't. We didn't local or travel.
Yep.
When you want what you want, you do what you do.
You're gonna go after it.
You gonna go after it. Exactly.
Yeah. So like I said, she didn't think none of it. Not the norm. So the victim passed out for a while. She finally woke up and proceeded to the bathroom. Now keep in mind, she mentions that Dominique's movements woke her up. All right. So his movements woke her up. And that's when she went to the bathroom. When the victim went to the bathroom to do what she had to do, she was like taken back by what she saw in her panties. So she had a hole in her panties, like she said, it was a big D hole in her panties. I mean, in her what she had on, not the panties, but
she had the leather pants on.
The pants. Excuse me, the pants. All right. She knew that Dominique tried to get in her pants. So she had that feeling like, she going in like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? And then, of course, that's going to come to her mind. So the anonymous woman was trying to find out what's up as Dominique heard her loud voice in the bathroom, because she was having a self-talk, and mad all at the same time. And so he heard that. Once she came out the bathroom, she confronted Dominique. So she asked him what happened to her pants. He told her that he don't know. He acted like he was oblivious to what was going on with the victim's clothing. She told him she had a big hole in her pants. He just told her he doesn't know again, and that her pants were thin. Now, mind you, her pants are leather now, okay? So it's not like it's super easy to get inside her pants. Dominique said that he was playing with her private area. He was rubbing it and the fabric gave away. Now, the victim is pissed, finding out what Dominique did to her. Yeah, so she was pissed off, and she picked up her things and was leaving. Dominique tried to stop her, of course, from leaving. He tried to talk her down from the situation. The victim, she didn't want to hear that. The anonymous victim didn't want to hear that. She jumped in her car and left. And as she's driving, that's when Dominique texts her multiple times back to back. She lets him know that she was raped by him. She felt violated. She knew something wasn't right. She goes back in her mind as far as what she saw at his house when he was in the bathroom. So what she saw was his house during the time that all this transpired. She saw him take something off, I guess meaning his private area, and flush it in the toilet. But Dominique told the victim he went to the toilet to spit. The victim knew he was a liar, so she knew he was lying. Dominique, of course, denied it. He just said it was a lot going on. He was blessed. It didn't have to rape the victim. That's kind of how his attitude was toward Jasmine. Like, because he did have I don't know if y'all checked this out. There's a footage going around here doing an interview. He was kind of saying the same thing, that he's blessed and he got, he don't have to rape a girl, and he got kids, and, he's living a great life. He don't need to mess it up. All that good stuff he was saying. So the victim wanted to find a way, like, trick him into telling the truth about what happened to her at the house that night. But of course, Dominique caught on to that, so he didn't fall for the bait. He wasn't having it, so he blocked the victim's number because, again, she was pressing him about the rape situation. All right, so he wanted to still talk to her. This is before he blocked the number, though, because, again, he's trying to rationalize everything. So he wanted to still talk to her and have a relationship, and the victim wasn't even having that at all. And she's like, no, we're not going to have no relationship, and we ain't talking. And then once she kept pressing him, he just blocked the number. But she said she felt like she was the crazy one because Dominique, his thoughts about her exposing him of raping her and pressing him about answers, you know what I'm saying? So he made it seem like, he wouldn't ruin his life over violating somebody because he has 2 kids and his son lives with him. But The victim said she didn't see his son at all that whole night when they was at the house doing their date night. So she didn't know where Dominique's son was. So in the video, she did mention the messages that her and Dominique shared back and forth about the situation, and she told him he's going to jail. So her reason of not coming out early was to protect the kids, and I understand that, protect the kids. Not Dominique. She ain't trying to protect Dominique. But, she was just in fear of her life. And she did what she had to do. She didn't know what the man was capable of. So that's why she was silent for so long. But it just so happened that this Jasmine Eiland situation happened. This incident happened. And she didn't want to relive it, but she had no choice after seeing that mess at Opera nightclub. So, I mean, even Dominique even know where she works at. So that's all I gathered from the video. But again, this definitely has a lot of validity to it. I believe that happened. I can believe that happened. Like, yeah, it has validity to it. If this shit is true, man, again, he needs to go to prison. He should not be walking the streets destroying other women's lives at all. Like, I mean, why do you have to rape a woman to get something? Like, it's not that deep. And really, she said she really enjoyed the date. So you was already in there.
Already in.
I mean, what was the point of you even trying to rape her? That just didn't make no sense. She would have gave it up. I mean, whenever she felt
when she felt like she was right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying she wasn't gonna give it up that night, but I'm just saying whenever she was ready to, she would have gave it up because he was, she, like I said, she had a good time and she enjoyed the date. Everything was going fine until he did that. So the dude just sick, man. He's sick in the head. It's all about power. Like, this situation is all about power and control and knowing that you can take something away from somebody, and the people get off of that. That's a thrill. Like, that's a turn on the people. Like, y'all gotta think about all this crazy mess you see on these porn sites and Pornhub and all that. All these unusual, strange, weird fetishes people are into, man. So people are into stuff like this, raping people unwillingly. Like, but there's something wrong with that, man. That just ain't normal. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. So, yeah, I don't have no respect for that dude. That's not a good look if you got kids. Because if this man go to jail, now, again, I'm looking at from both angles. The Jasmine Eiland angle and then Dominique Williams angle. If it's true that he did this, that's not a good look for his kids.
Absolutely.
His kids will get taken away. Then the kids' lives are destroyed before they even get out into the world. They're going to be dysfunctional as I don't know what. If I could see, I don't know his family situation. I don't know if he has some connection to his, I don't know if he got brothers, sisters, grandmamas, aunties, uncles that, if he was to get his kids taken away, would they be able to take care of him? Do you even have a relationship with his family? Let's see, nobody knows that. So if he doesn't, and them kids go into the system, that's it, man. More kids gone. And I'm not talking about physically, mentally, life-wise.
Right. They would be traumatized.
Yeah.
Bullied, shamed, all of that.
All of it.
Like, and another thing for me is, those of us that are victims of rape or sexual molestation or being sexually attacked, it's not as easy as people think to just be like, oh, hey, by the way, I was just raped. Oh, hey, by the way, I was just molested or sexually attacked because of society, right? A lot of people suffer in silence, or a lot of people they are just silent because of the backlash, and because of the judging and just in general, I'm speaking of like question their motives. Well, what was you wearing? Because let me tell you, when I was raped, okay, I no longer have the friend that was with me when it happened in Philly, August 30th, okay? And I'm minding my business with the former friend on my way to work, clothed modestly, okay? It was the summertime, so I wasn't inappropriately dressed. And this man robbed and raped me, okay? And no one did nothing. The so-called friend at that time left me. Okay, I was fighting for my life, fighting this man off for my life. And people that were in cars, okay, they were riding past. And then this one car that had three, I believe at least 2 to 3 young white boys in it, you know what they did? Stopped and watched and laughed and took pictures and then left. But this one person that happened to come up, I'm not sure if it was a police person or just a person that just randomly, a good angel at that time, came and got this man away. Because when I tell you I was fighting for my life, okay? And this is not just about me. It's so many of us that don't speak. I told my family, very close family members, that what happened that evening. Because I went to the hospital and everything, got the rape test kit and everything to verify. Everything was behind me. You know what I was asked? Why were you wearing that? And other people, well, what was you wearing that made that man rape you? What? Really? So I see it, why women, or for that matter, why men, because men get raped too and sexually assaulted and molested. They do. It's just not talked about a lot. Why people choose to stay quiet, like you said, because of the judgment. You get judged. What the hell who cares what I had on? Who cares? That does not mean that someone should take it. Hell, you have women out here that's giving it up for free. They're giving it up. So, yeah. And domestic violence, as a lot of women experience. I don't know if it's one of those things that you got to be tired of being tired of being tired and you get away. But if you need to get away, wherever state you live in, call that domestic violence hotline number. I'm sure that they can tell you confidential secret places that you can go to get away, if whether you're by yourself or if you have children, where you can get away to a safe space. You don't have to do that to yourself no more. I stayed. I thought I could change people. And guess what? You cannot. All that, I'm sorry, I won't do it anymore. I love you. I care about you. Throw that shit out the window. You have to care about yourself. You matter. You are what is important. That's why I talk about self-care and self-love so much, because we don't do it as much as we should. And I'm not here to point fingers. I'm not doing that, because I've been there myself. But when I got tired of being tired, I did what I had to do. And guess what? Unfortunately, putting out those restraining orders, a lot of times that don't help either, because they still come back. I know every case or every situation is different. I put out restraining orders. You know what they did? They kept coming back. You know what the police did when they came to my house? When I called, oh, it's just, it's just a lover's quarrel. Oh, they're just having, this relationship No. 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 So you gotta, I pray for anyone, if you're in that situation, please seek help as soon as you can. And even when I got choked out and thrown into the wall, this person told police and the hospital that I can't even remember, but that it was that I did something crazy, right? Like I was the crazy one that caused myself. How the hell can I choke myself and throw my ass into the wall? Like it was just, ugh. And this happened in front of my kids. I don't know if they remember it. I'm not trying to have them relive it, but this happened in front of my kids. So anybody that's going through situations like that, please, when you can, please get help. Hopefully I can post different resources in our comment box. If it doesn't affect you, but it's someone that you know, please help them, because it's serious. It's very, very serious. Like it's just really serious.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's may I?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. It's a lot. So for those that may be joining us just now, we are speaking about Jasmine Eiland, who there was this, as they say, alleged situation that was going on at the Opera nightclub here in Atlanta, Georgia, where Dominique Williams, they say, allegedly raped her or sexually assaulted her. So for those that's been on, if you hear me reiterate things, you know, that's just what I'm going to do. So this is coming from blackdoctor.org, and it's woman allegedly drugged and raped on Facebook Live. So it says a very disturbing Facebook Live video has been circulating online that appears to show a woman being drugged and raped at an Atlanta nightclub, which is the Opera nightclub. So the incident happened to 20-something Jasmine Eiland on Saturday night, January 19th at Opera, a nightclub in the Atlanta area. At the beginning of the clip, Eiland can be seen smiling and sipping her drink. Many who have seen the video claim to have seen a pill in the bottom of her drink, which was given to her by the unidentified man she was dancing with, which they are now saying again that he has been identified as Dominique Williams. I don't know if you're going to catch the video anywhere, but this is not really showing the video. Maybe
It's
not.
Been removed
it's
Facebook.
Been removed.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So later on in the video, rapping along to her favorite songs and dancing, started slurring her words and talking about how the drink had her effed up. Not too long afterward, the video shows the man allegedly raping Jasmine, who seems to be very inebriated at this point, in the middle of the dance floor. She is constantly yelling, "Stop," and begs for help. But perhaps one of the most disturbing parts of the video is while all of this is going on with Jasmine, the video shows other people in the club standing around and recording the incident on their phones instead of actually helping her like she was begging them to. In the middle of the assault, a woman places her hand on Jasmine's shoulder, but yet does nothing to stop the man who is allegedly raping her. The day after the incident, Jasmine Eiland took to her Facebook page to post a series of messages. She first wrote, "I'm okay." A follow-up post a few minutes later read, "Please, no calls, texts. I'm still gathering myself, please." She said in another series of posts, this time via her Instagram stories, "I am doing fine. I just want to be left alone. I will delete my account again. Just leave me alone." In another video, she shares how she couldn't take the video down because of the investigation by the police. The gossip news site, which is gossipinthecity.com, posted that they believe they have found the man in a video, and he says he will be going to the police with his lawyer. Almost contains another story of sexual assault. Those stories that make the news are likely only a small fraction of those assaults reported, and only a minority of victims ever makes a formal complaint to police. The math is almost overwhelming each year. An estimated 868,000 Americans over the age of 12 are raped or sexually assaulted, and nearly 1/5 of American women report having been raped at some point in their lives. Date rape, also known as drug facilitated sexual assault, is any type of sexual activity that a person does not agree to. It may come from someone you know, someone may have just met, and or someone thought you could trust. Date rape drugs can make people become physically weak or pass out. This is why people who want to rape someone use them, because they leave individuals unable to protect themselves. Many of these drugs have no color, smell, or taste, and people often do not know that they've taken anything. Many times, people who have been drugged, usually girls or women, but not always, are unable to remember what happened to them. So, and I'm probably going to say these names wrong. Please forgive me in advance. The three most common date rape drugs are rohypnol, which is spelled Rohypnol. The other one is GHB, which is called gamma hydroxyboric acid, and ketamine, Katamine. So the first one I said, which is known as roofies, forget-me pills, and R-2 is a type of prescription pill known as benzodiazepine. Wait a minute. How do you say it?
Oh, benzodiazepine.
Thank you.
Benzodiazepine.
Thank you.
Diazepine.
Is chemically similar to drugs such as Valium or Xanax, but unlike these drugs, it is not approved for medical use in this country. It has no taste or smell, and it is sometimes colorless, excuse me, because I'm clicking to continue, dissolved in a drink, right? People who take it can feel very sleepy and confused and forget what happens after its effect kicks in. It can also cause weakness and trouble breathing, and can make it difficult for those who have taken it to move their body. The effects of this can be felt within 30 minutes of being drugged and can last for several hours. To prevent misuse of that drug, the roofie, also known as roofie, the manufacturer recently changed the pill to look like a green tablet with a speckled blue core. When dissolved in light colored drinks, the new pills dye in the liquid blue and alert people that their drink has been tampered with. Unfortunately, generic versions may not contain the blue dye. Next, that GHB, also known as cherry meth, scoop, and goop, is a type of drug that acts as a central nervous system depressant and is prescribed for treatment of narcolepsy, which is a sleep disorder. It can cause a person to throw up. It can also slow their heart rate and make it hard to breathe. And at high doses, it can result in a coma or death. It's a tasteless, odorless drug that can be a powder or liquid. It's colorless when dissolved in a drink. Mixing it with alcohol makes these effects worse. The GHB can take effect in 15 to 30 minutes, and the effects may last for 3 to 6 hours. I'm telling you guys, take heed, please. Okay, this other one, which is known ketamine or ketamine, also known as cat Valium, K-hole, and purple, is a dissociative anesthetic. That means it distorts perceptions of sight and sound and makes a person feel detached, from their environment and themselves. It also reduces pain and overall feeling. Like other anesthetic drugs, is used during surgical procedures in both humans and animals. It's a tasteless, odorless drug that can be a powder or liquid. It can cause hallucinations and make people feel totally out of it. It can also increase heart rate, raise blood pressure, and cause nausea. The effects of this pill, which they call purple, that's another word, another nickname for, may last for 30 to 60 minutes. So, what can you do? If you're at a party where people are drinking alcohol, you should be aware that there could be predators hoping to make you drunk or vulnerable. No matter what you're drinking, even if it's a soda or juice, people can slip drugs in your drinks. So pour all drinks yourself and never leave them unattended, even if you have to take them into the bathroom with you. Also, be sure to stick with friends. There's safety in numbers. There is safety in numbers. Stick with who the hell you came with. Okay? As it said, if me and Uno, for whatever reason, we decide we want to go to a lounge, a club, or whatever, when one of us got to make a move, the other one's going to make a move. And that drink will stay there.
I'm going to be on her ass white on rice anyway. I'll be like that in public, so imagine how I am in the club. So, I'm like, right. Damn, Uno, I mean, you stepping on my heels. I'm just going
Please,
to the bathroom.
If you're going, go in numbers. Go in numbers. Go with your friends. Wherever your friend go with your friends. Seriously, people, this is something serious. She could have died. She could have died.
I mean,
there have been people that have died.
Well, that's people that be on them pills anyway. They like it in their drinks, so
you know
that too. But it's still dangerous, either way.
Whether they doing it on their own or someone is slipping it to them.
Leave the drinks there.
If you leave that drink there, leave it there. Don't come back and drink it.
Go buy another one.
Just go buy another one.
And if a man approaches you by buying drinks, do not accept it. Buy it yourself.
Exactly. Go for the women too. I don't care which club you in. I don't
Lesbian
care what
clubs included.
I don't care what clubs you in. Okay, so there is safety in numbers.
Yep.
But even if you leave your drink, like I said,
excuse me.
Even if
Sorry
you leave,
about the bump, guys.
Even if you leave your drink or leave your friends behind, I'm not leaving my friend behind. Know this for certain: if you are drugged and taken advantage of, it's not your fault. Okay, so I just felt like I really had to read that coming from blackdoctor.org, because it had some very crucial information in it. And you can Google it for yourself. You don't have to take me for it. These articles are going to be posted. So do your further research. Like, don't do it to yourself, please. This is very serious.
Indeed. Very serious. We just have to be careful, man. I don't go to clubs anyway. I mean, it's just man, it's just too much going on. It's way too much going on. People are just getting crazier and crazier. It's like it just makes you want to just stay home. But if you go out, please be careful. Watch your surroundings. Stay with friends. Do not leave your friends unattended. And if you leave your drinks unattended, leave them there. Go buy another one. But I advise you to pour it out, because there will be some idiots who go behind and drink on your glass. Yes, you have idiots like that who would drink on a half full of liquor. Yeah. So to take precautions for you and others, just go pour it away or throw it in the garbage and go buy another one.
Absolutely.
Now I do have another witness who speaks out about Jasmine Eiland's rape in the Opera nightclub. Now this is the witness who's actually in the club, and she's giving her angle and feelings and point of view about the whole situation. She had made a video. Well, all these videos I'm gonna post on our Instagram anyway. That way you guys can check it out. But this witness just gives her accounts from her own point of view. Okay, so from what I gathered from her video of what she said it's a lie. Okay, she said there's lies and there's false truths going around. So she wanted to clear the whole situation up from what she saw at the club that night. She was there with her friend, this witness, who had a birthday too. So they celebrated. They was in the same area that Jasmine was in. They both witnessed what happened in the club, meaning the witness and her friend witnessed what happened. The witness felt like people aren't being honest and need to be honest. She said Jasmine partied the whole night. She told the witness friend, the witness could manage, the witness came with a friend. So Jasmine told the witness friend that it was her birthday as well. So Jasmine had a birthday the same night as the witness's friend. So they was going to turn up. The witness said it's false about Jasmine being in the club by herself, because I did mention that she was with other female friends. So she had other females with her in the club. The witness is sure because she was talking with one of Jasmine's friends. So that's a key thing. She was talking with one of Jasmine's friends. Jasmine chilled with her friends. So that's another key point. Jasmine chilled with her friends. She also said that Dominique Williams did not take advantage of her. The witness said Jasmine danced with a couple of dudes that night. And mind you, I mentioned this somewhere in the show that she danced with other dudes previous to dancing and rubbing up and touching and sexually, performing with Dominique. All right. So Dominique was not the only person she danced and took pics with. She didn't hang with him until like towards the end of the night. All right. The witness cleared up the rumors about her having panties on. She said Jasmine did not have panties on at all while in Opera nightclub. Because there was speculation going around that Jasmine didn't have no panties on, so it was easy access for Dominique Williams to rape her because he slided his finger through her private area and did what he did. But so from what she's saying, Jasmine didn't have no panties on. All right, so the witness and her friend laughed. They laughed because Jasmine twerked on the dance floor. The witness recalled Jasmine talking about her ex-husband like a dog that night, in a negative way. Jasmine spoke all of this to the witness and the other girls in the club that was around her. So keep that in mind. Jasmine spoke in a negative way about her ex-husband because, mind you, her ex-husband was cheating. And actually, there's another part I left out that her ex-boyfriend found somebody else. So he was seeing another chick and got over Jasmine. Okay, where are we? All right. All right, so the witness brings up what Jasmine said about her ex-husband, being broke and how he beat on her. Also, the one incident where Jasmine was jumped on by her ex-husband because he thought she cheated on him. The witnesses said she partied and mentioned she was over her ex-husband and was through with their relationship. So, as how the ex-husband was through, Jasmine was through too. She ready to, I guess, be in her single life and party and mingle. Y'all know how that goes when we all trying to be single and trying to do something. The witness wants Jasmine to clear up the false statements made against Dominique and stop having a public or social media making her situation as a tragic rape story. The witness said that Jasmine was all up on Dominique in the club. All right, so keep that in mind. She was up on Dominique, all up on him in the club. She wanted to be with him and thought he was sexy. And so keep that in mind. All right. The witness points out that she had many drinks. So the people that say she might have had a couple of drinks, no, she was already drinking by the time she got in the club. So imagine that going into the end of the night. She was wasted. That's wasted. Like, yeah, she was gone. Um, let's see. The witness points out that again she had many drinks and she mixed all her drinks now. It wasn't the same drink she was drinking all night. She mixing different kind of liquors together. So that's really gonna mess you up. I mean, I've done that too many times. I was messed up, toe up to the floor up, messed up. So, ooh, I know how that can be. That was then. Don't do it no more. So I'm good on that. The witness felt like she's forgetting things because of this, because she was wasted off the multiple drinks and they were mixed drinks at that. The witness has evidence of all claims she's making against Jasmine. The evidence timestamp, meaning like in the videos, the timestamp each thing that occurred, once she got in the club and after the rape happened and then the twerking situation where she was in a contest. All right, so she has a timestamp of the twerking contest that Jasmine was in and the footage of her with Dominique dancing on each other. All right. The witness vouches that her ex-husband will say that Jasmine is a liar. So apparently he's aware of everything that was going on that whole time. That's what it seemed like to me. The witness was upset with Jasmine because the girl, that was only hanging with Jasmine for that night. Mind you, this witness and Jasmine are not friends now. They just met, so they're just hanging. Like, all right, you cool girl, so let's just hang and have a good time. You know how that goes. All right. So, again, the witness was upset with Jasmine because she is playing with rape as a joke when it's real victims who went through those bad situations, and it could harm them, could harm their validity. You know what I'm saying? Like, people won't take it serious if they're telling a story, and they will feel like it's fake or not real. That's if they ever want to speak out. So, right. People won't even take that serious. So that's why she's so upset about that. The witness said that Jasmine rubbing up on Dominique's private part in the club. So the witness is saying Jasmine was rubbing up on Dominique in the nightclub. The witness points out that Jasmine had on stockings now. Kamani said she had no panties on, but for what the witness is saying, she said she had on stockings, but they ripped on the dance floor while she was dancing on Dominique. The witness said her stockings ripped all the way up her leg as she still was dancing on the club floor. Plus, she didn't have no shoes on. Now, you didn't hear that too much. She said the girl had no shoes on. But I'm sure the timestamps of videos, because mind you, this witness has her videos that she shot in the club that night. I'm sure the other witnesses have their footage of what they shot. And there's other people that's in the club. They got their videos of the timestamp of everything. So the times could differ, But either way, it can piece together either way. So, but okay, and the last thing is the witness says Jasmine is a clout chaser and that she don't want to see Dominique Williams locked up for something he didn't commit. And so that was her feelings on it. Yeah, so that really pissed off. And let me add, side note, she was a rape victim. So that's why she really was upset. She had to put that in there because that's a serious thing, and she know how it feels for how people react to things like that, and realize what she was going through when she got raped. So that's why she was angry and passionate about talking about this whole Jasmine Eiland situation. Wanted Jasmine just to own up to what she did and tell the truth, because she's making it harder for people who actually went through that. and it's hard for them to tell their story. Yeah, I just wanted to add that side note in there.
I can definitely identify with that, with that last part, that, like you said, it for individuals that have truly been raped or sexually assaulted, it makes it extremely hard for women to come out and tell their story, because you have individuals in general that lie or or just lie, or just lie. That's all. I can't even come up with another word. So just lie, and you make it hard, right? Because people don't believe you. They just don't believe you.
And
And
then you being a black woman, they definitely gonna not believe
right,
you.
and so it's already traumatizing. It's traumatizing, and a lot of women don't share their story.
Yeah.
They don't.
Especially black women, and it's like we already got a, as black women, we already got a stigma as it is.
Right.
And the things we do, and then once something actually happens, people just don't take it serious at all. I hate to say it, but black women, I'm not saying all, but so many black women make poor ass choices. And they do crazy things that don't make sense. So if they wasn't doing all this stuff, then maybe people will believe them. That's all I'm saying. Like, maybe people will believe them a lot more. You know what I mean? We're really not believe them, but take them more serious and respect them as a woman, because black women are not getting respect because of that, what they're doing, their actions.
Right.
It's really destroying people. So yeah, we got to do better. I mean, black women, we got to do better. Come on now, what's going on? And I seen all of the comments the black men are making about black women. They having a field day with this Jasmine Eiland thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're having a field day. Not to say every black man sides with, I'm not sure what Dominique Williams or whoever has an opinion about black women and Jasmine Eiland's actions. Because you have some that really sympathize and empathize with Jasmine Eiland. So, but for the most part, yeah. As a black woman, you're the most disrespected in society. But let that happen to a white woman, everybody will believe it. That rape happened, and no one would question anything and say, "Oh, you fast? Why'd you have that on? Why was you doing that anyway? You trying to destroy the man, and you ratchet, and all this stuff, like just all these these prejudges and stigmas and labels. The white woman won't get the same treatment as a black woman, so it's
right,
unfortunate.
and exactly, you're right. We were thinking the same word. It's very unfortunate that it is a black and white issue, because no, a white woman there wouldn't even be, if he did that, Dominique Williams, if he did that to a white woman, and just have to, like Uno said, I just have to be honest, like, he would have been under the ground.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have been shot to death, he's going to be under the ground. He's never coming out of that prison system. Okay, that's just the unfortunate thing of it. We are not, as black and brown sisters, of all shades. Okay, we are not, unfortunately, a lot of times represented correctly or the right way. I know when I went to court, the individual that raped me and robbed me, yeah, they locked him up, but no justice was served. He got released. I was not represented. I wasn't explained in depth what my rights was. It was just the most horrifying thing for him to walk the streets again. And I don't know who he is, but his name, as if it happened yesterday. And so, as I'm on my road of recovery and healing, when I hear stories like this, I don't want to run away from it because it's real and it happens. It just brings up um memories, and we have to continue to the struggle is real. We have to continue to fight. And again, I'm not going to say it did not happen to her. I'm in agreement with Uno. Some of her actions were very poor,
And
very
that's just real.
very
And that's
poor,
not throwing shade on
and that's
her.
definitely not
That's not
throwing
being
shade on her.
negative. That's not being hateful. That's not tearing her down. Like none of that. But we have to look at the facts here. We have to look at what we see. Jasmine put herself out there. No one told her to put herself out there. She chose to do that. So you have to expect criticism. You have to. Especially if you're gonna post to the public on social media. Just like anything I do and say, people gonna have comments. That's just the way it is.
Absolutely.
But you just have to move different. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of what you do. That's all. None of us is perfect. Nobody is. Because everybody got skeletons in their closet. So that's not saying that like it's all about Jasmine, because all of us got some stuff that we did stuff that we did stuff in the past that was a poor choice. We made poor ass decisions. We wasn't in our right mind. So let's keep that in mind too, that we all make mistakes. But
and again,
doesn't
yes,
mean you can't correct them. So.
Right. And again, disclaimer, it does not justify her to have been touched, sexually assaulted, or raped. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have here, she does have protesters. You have women that is on her side. So this is coming from Blacktivity, if I'm saying it right. Blavity, excuse me, blavity.com. Thank you. And the caption is, protesters demand justice for victim of sexual assault at Atlanta nightclub, seen on Facebook Live. Protect Black women and girls, which we definitely in general should do. Protect our Black women and girls. Okay.
Please, this is a must. It's really needed. Black women and girls need to be protected. Period.
Okay, so I just want to get down. So it says throughout the week, protesters have stormed the establishment with signs in tow demanding answers. Roughly 36 women protested outside the club Wednesday night in a rally organized by Sabrina Peterson. Many of the women in attendance placed blame on the club for not protecting its female patrons from such incidents. I feel that the Opera nightclub, has a responsibility to all of the patrons of their establishment, says protester Golden P. Smith. There needs to be more than enough security, and there need to be resources inside of the venue that will allow anyone who has been victimized to come forward and to report the incident. I feel that they not only have a duty to the patrons, but also to the city of Atlanta and all of their customers. An online campaign spearheaded by mostly Black women is also demanding the club and man at the center be held accountable. So they have a hashtag, which is hashtag Jasmine Eiland, Eiland, started trending as the footage from last weekend surfaced. So they have people who from Twitter have made comments, and of course you can completely read them all, okay, at your leisure. Go ahead.
No, you got.
Also, it says, meanwhile, Jasmine is awaiting the test results of a rape kit. The victim hired renowned attorney Chris Stewart to seek legal action. Stewart represented Walter Scott's family and the family of Alton Sterling after police killed the men. How is somebody sexually assaulted in a club right in front of anyone? He asked. Security will kick you out if you're too drunk. How did security not walk up to her and not check on her? So I just want to kind of highlight those again. You can read the Twitter comments, you can read the whole full thing. But yes, she does definitely have people that is by her side and protesting. She did the rape kit. Get the results from that if it's not already happened. And it's just, again, in general, we have to protect our sisters, our women, our young girls, because this
don't make no sense.
This is an epidemic. Like, for real, this thing is going strong.
It needs to be consequences. And if women lie too, this is another thing. If women lie on men as far as raping them, they should serve jail time. Yep, you should serve some prison time, okay? It should be consequences to that too. Because that makes no sense either, that a man has to go to jail for something he didn't do. You ruined this whole man's life. Like, you tarnished his whole life. He is tarnished for good. So, yeah. It's unacceptable of not protecting black women and girls, and it's also unacceptable of women lying on men. It's just all unacceptable. So, we need to do better all around. Let's do better, people.
Absolutely.
There's something you wanted to read?
There was. Could I?
Yeah.
Okay. So in one of the articles that I have, there was a link was speaking about this whole rape and sexual assault. We all know, or if you didn't know, Lisa Van Allen, how surviving R. Kelly became a culture shifting moment. And it says, tears roll down the faces of women as they watch one victim after another share their gut-wrenching accounts of mental, physical, and sexual abuse. This is supposed to be tying into what happened to Jasmine also. The trauma could no longer be suppressed. The hurt remained real. On the night of January 5th, January 5th, 2019, Rolling Out hosted a private screening of Surviving R. Kelly in Atlanta. The disturbing docu-series focused on the abuse R. Kelly experienced as a child, his controversial marriage to singer Aaliyah when she was only 15, his child pornography case stemming from a sex tape allegedly involving a 14-year-old girl, and accusations that the I Believe I Can Fly singer held women captive in his homes in Chicago and Atlanta. The revelations caused many viewers to relive the same pain they were forced to endure in past situations. It brought back what I had been through, a personal experience of being sexually assaulted. Attendee Ayanna Bailey revealed after the screening to Rolling Out's Cassidy Sparks. I did like R. Kelly until tonight. After meeting Lisa Van Allen and seeing her reaction, her pain, and everything she's gone through, never again. Never again will I ever be a fan of that man. Today was the first day that I've ever admitted to being sexually assaulted. This is how serious it was to me. Lisa Van Allen, who appeared in Surviving R. Kelly, was also in attendance at Rolling Out's screening. The Atlanta woman was a teenager when she met R. Kelly, who was in his 30s at the time, and they eventually began a sexual relationship. When I first met him, he asked me right away how old I was. I told him I was 17. Allen recalled during an exclusive interview weeks later. The first thing he asked me was, Will your mother let you come to Chicago? Once I contacted him, he asked me when I could go to Chicago. Immediately, he wanted to know when I could get up there. I was working at the mall, so the next day I had off. I told him I would be able to come up. He had his assistant send me the money, and I had to book my flight myself. Back then, I didn't think anything of it, but now I see why. Because I was 17. He didn't want to book it himself. With no one in her family really questioning the invitation, the teenager was left to decide for herself. She flew from Atlanta to Chicago to meet a man nearly twice her age. I'm not really in contact with a lot of my family members, but I tell my adoptive mother the truth, that I was going to see him. The first initial trip, I was 17 years old. Her mother was sick, and I just think she really didn't want to fight with me about it. She didn't say I could go or I couldn't go. And Rob Kelly and his team made it really easy for me to get there. Initially, Van Allen did not see any signs of questionable behaviors by Kelly. When I first got involved with him, there weren't red flags, she said. Once I moved to Chicago, that's when the red flags started popping up. Honestly, I didn't even realize they were red flags because I had never dated a grown man before. I thought that maybe this is how it goes when you're dating someone that much older than you. All I had dated were boys my age. I had a boyfriend prior to that, but we had broken up at that point. So I didn't know. Now, or once I became older and mature, I knew that those were red flags. Now I do instill that in my daughter about looking for red flags. If a man is too controlling, if he's always getting on you about things that you want to do or places that you want to go, if you see things that you are not comfortable with, then you should take those as red flags. Van Allen would eventually participate in sex acts with Kelly that included other women and alleged minor. After obtaining a video of herself having sex with Kelly and an alleged 14-year-old girl, years later, she decided it was time to end her 5-year relationship with the embattled singer. The sex tape led to charges of child porn against Kelly, but the singer was acquitted back in 2008 after the alleged victim refused to testify. So at 21, Van Allen finally decided she had enough. She left Kelly and returned home, came back home to Atlanta. It's built up. As time went on, a lot of it had to do with me growing up, she said. I didn't tell him I was leaving for good. I told him that I was going to go visit my family. That's what people get. That's what people get a little twisted. He didn't hold the girls against their will. He didn't hold me against my will. He didn't make it easy for me to leave. Say you wanted a flight. He wouldn't book the flight, or if he does book the flight, he would make you miss it. I'd make up reasons why I needed to leave. So after viewing Surviving R. Kelly, Van Allen was able to hear the heartbreaking testimony of other female victims. It proved to be a common theme. R. Kelly preyed on the young and vulnerable. So you can just read the rest of this at your leisure, but this was something that was part of, like I said, part of an article that I had wanted to speak on, and so it's like a cultural thing, rape culture.
Yeah, that's basically what it boils down to, the relationship of this story with R. Kelly and Jasmine Eiland's situation. Rape culture is just the norm now. It's sad. It's sad what this world has come to. They're making evil things the norm and the good things bad.
Right.
Yep, pretty much. But I do have one more account of a witness, which I have a name for this person now. This person's name is Vanna White. Uh, she gives her accounts on the alleged rape that happened in Opera nightclub. So Vanna White said that the people that assumed she was not empathetic or sympathetic to Jasmine Eiland's situation because she didn't react in the way everyone wanted her to. Now, mind you, she did a couple of videos before she was actually giving her feelings on the Jasmine Eiland situation in her fourth video because she did an interview. So this is why she said that. So Vanna is more focused on her own health. So so she's not sympathetic and empathetic. I guess she's just more focused on herself and her mental health, and people just didn't want to react in the way that they expected, and they got in their feelings about it. So, and she said she already did 5 videos on Jasmine's rape. So I guess at this time now she just nonchalant and just pissed off. So anything she says, people just take offense to it now. If Vanna knew Jasmine was getting raped, then she would have acted different. So that's what she was saying. Vanna said Jasmine and Dominique were already there. So she got there late. So apparently she just came in like in the middle. Jasmine had bumped into Vanna on the dance floor. She didn't say anything she didn't say anything to both of them, but she saw them drunk and well, she didn't say anything because for one, everybody was, drunk or they just had a lot in their system and people was bumping each other, clubs get crowded, people bumping into each other, and when you see things, you don't really think of it because you're in your own world anyway. So that's basically what she was saying too. Vanna thought they was together because again, she saw them together when she came in there, and they was all on each other. So she just, she didn't see nothing wrong at that time. And she said Jasmine didn't say anything to indicate something was wrong. She asked Jasmine was she and Dominique okay because she saw they was doing something together. Whatever she thought she saw, she was just asking they okay, but not like negative. Are you okay? But just are y'all okay? Cause y'all a little too turned up. Are you okay? But Vanna said for Dominique Williams, she didn't see no thrusting because I know people saying they saw thrusting as if a sexual assault occurred because Dominique was bent down and he was moving back and forth or whatever. She didn't see no skin, no private parts to indicate there was sexual misconduct on the dance floor. Plus, she said Dominique had on sweats, not pants, because that was circulating too. That Dominique had pants on and unzipped it and inserted his private area into Jasmine's private area. Okay, like he was fiddling down there doing whatever. Vanna said she didn't see Jasmine getting raped in the club, but she heard moaning, so she thought she was having sex with Dominique. Like I guess how a lot of them felt. They didn't think none of it. They just heard moaning and they just thought Dominique and Jasmine doing their thing. And people didn't pay no mind. Vanna said she didn't hear Jasmine screaming because the club was loud, due to the music and I'm sure all the other extra noise that's behind the music. Vanna didn't think Jasmine was drugged, but she said she was drunk in the club. Because mind you, the other witness said she had multiple drinks back to back. And they were mixed drinks, not like the same kind of drink she was on, but she had different kind of drinks. So Vanna assumed Jasmine and Dominique, when she assumed they was together, she just was also thinking that she was, that Dominique, had her back, taking care of her well-being, making sure she all right. Because again, Jasmine was really drunk and out of it. So I guess she's saying that because how people was watching the video, as it looked like Jasmine was falling over and she was saying help and stop it, and how Dominique was moving on her and touching her, and I guess when they saw Dominique bent over Jasmine, they thought he was doing something. From a counsel with a witness saying he was trying to actually hold her up, like help her hold her up, and then try to set her down somewhere so she could just blow off all that she had in her system or whatnot. Vanna said she didn't think nothing was up with Jasmine. And she said nobody in the club said anything, really. But due to the timestamp of the witness who recorded the twerking contest with Jasmine participating, the event started within 5 to 15 minutes. So somebody could have been in there before Vanna Smith and had that footage in the 5 minute timestamp. Someone else could have had it in a 10 minute timestamp. So it's just different videos of timestamps, and it could be from different angles too. Vanna said she didn't know Jasmine came there with friends. Cause mind you now, Vanna came after, all right? But the other witness was there way before Vanna White came, so she knew that Jasmine came with friends. But Vanna didn't know that Jasmine came with friends. Cause they didn't know each other, okay? So let's clear that up. They didn't know each other. You just come to club people, whatever. You see them, whatever. And then if you don't know people, you might see them all in the club, and you don't think none of anything. So she didn't see Jasmine being with friends until after the controversy of Jasmine's alleged rape. So she didn't know she was okay. She didn't know about her having friends until people was coming out with the story of her having friends who was there with her at the club. Vanna doesn't know Jasmine Eiland personally, all right? So let's clear that up again. She doesn't know her personally. She didn't know what she had going on at all in her life. So, but that's pretty much it with Vanna White, So that's her account from her point of view, her angle, her feelings. So people might not agree with her approach, but everybody has different feelings and opinions, and we gotta respect that. Everybody's not gonna react the same as you want them to, you know. So if she said it didn't happen, then that's just how she saw it from what she saw in the club. Now, if it did happen to Jasmine, then yeah, actions need to be took ASAP, immediately, okay? And that man needs to be put away. But from the witnesses, they say it didn't happen. And if it finds out Jasmine is lying, she needs to she needs to suffer the consequences. She needs to get help. She really just needs to serve some prison time. If it come to find out it didn't happen. And then really she wasting everybody's time because everybody's advocating for her. You just read an article about the black women, rallying with Jasmine Eiland to protect black women and girls. And that's gonna just be like for nothing. Like I just feel like that's real disrespectful. Like not just them, but other people on social media who's advocating for Jasmine Eiland, it's just gonna be all for nothing. And they're really gonna look like a fool. Everybody's gonna look like a fool. So if Jasmine Eiland is allowing this whole story to keep going on, then she's just really not nothing at all. And it wouldn't actually be clout chasing and trying to come up off a horrible situation that can happen to anyone, capitalizing off a rape. How disgusting can you be? If this is true. Well, who knows? But time will reveal itself or who's telling the truth. So we shall see. So stay tuned, everyone. It's going to get better.
Ooh, boy. Yeah. I mean, for me, I guess if I would have been out there but again, like Uno said, everybody, unfortunately, they're just set up differently. Like for me, if I would have heard, if I would have heard, or if I would have saw that a female or a woman would just looking or acting differently I would have had to step. I would have had to have done something. But that's just me. Again, everybody's set up differently. But we said that we were going to keep it neutral and speak from different avenues as we have. So I actually want to speak on Dominique Williams' side now, which this is coming from rollingout.com. So he has an attorney as well. So attorney for man identified in alleged sexual assault on Facebook Live speaks out. So, the man who was identified in a Facebook Live video at Atlanta Opera's nightclub has now spoken out in his defense through his legal counsel. Last week, we all heard about the story of this young woman, of course, who claimed she was drugged and sexually assaulted by a male dance companion at the Opera nightclub here in Atlanta, and his name is Dominique Williams, who denied through his attorney, Shaquille Ross of She Law, that he sexually assaulted or drugged the alleged victim. Ross indicated she has seen the video multiple times along with other videos from the club, and that her social media team is also combing through the videos as well. In the video, the alleged victim seems to be panicking and frantic as she claims to be raped while crying out for help. Ross is adamant about her client's innocence of the accusations of rape and drugging. I cannot tell you what happened on the night of the alleged attack, but I can tell what didn't happen is a rape. I can tell you what didn't happen was a sexual assault, Ross said. Ross says that in light of what has been seen in the video, there are no grounds for an arrest, much less imprisonment. What is not going on is a warrant from the police department or a grand jury warrant from the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, Ross continued. No charges have been filed based on that video. The alleged incident on January 19th sparked a fierce social media backlash against the male and resulted in days of protests outside the nightclub. Ross said adamantly and unequivocally that there are no facts that support that my client, who is Dominique Williams, drugged this young woman, nor is there probable cause to make an arrest. Ross added that Williams does not buy or do drugs and also has custody of his children and served in the U.S. military. When she was asked that someone cannot believe that she, as a woman, is representing Williams against the accuser, Ross said she believes everyone needs someone who will fight for them. I believe everybody deserves truth, and I believe everybody deserves honesty, she says. Furthermore, if something illegal or violent was happening around the alleged victim, then those around her would have immediately done something to stop it. Everybody deserves a type of person who's going to fight for them, as if it was their brother as well. I believe my client and I believe those videos. I believe the fact that if something did occur, I also believe that those around wouldn't have stood around, she says, Ross says. We are in a movement right now where everything a male is accused of doing, those standing around would alert someone. Those standing around would have called the police. Those standing around would have made it known that, hey, something is not right. Something is going on that should not be going on, Ross continued. Ross said she has meticulously combed through the evidence, which includes the social media postings by the alleged herself. She said it was not very likely that that woman who who had just been sexually assaulted would enter a high energy twerking contest. I actually did see that video. Me as a woman, the thoughts I were thinking after that were, if someone had just been allegedly raped, why would you enter into a twerk contest? For all of you who don't know what twerking means, it is a high-powered sexual, sensual, energetic dance which has a lot of movement. You move in a certain type of manner. If you have just been raped, I'm not too sure if that is the type of movement that you would be doing. I have never entered a twerk contest, and I want to be sensitive for those who have been sexually abused, molested, or raped. That's not something a woman who just got raped would do. Don't get me wrong. There are those who say she was drugged and might be acting that way, or she was not drugged and should not be acting that way. I am for finding the truth, and the truth is my client has not been charged with any type of crime. Mr. Williams has been in contact with us. We have been in full communication and cooperation when it comes to the police department. I cannot really get into it because there is a full-fledged ongoing investigation from my office, as well as the police department, as well as the attorney for the alleged victim. But Mr. Williams has spoken to the police. We have been in communication and full cooperation with the police. And there is a video where you can look at it. It's from the rollingout.com. It's on this article I'm speaking of. And she's speaking on behalf of Dominique Williams, who is her client. So we're bringing all aspects. And again, like we both said, what's in the dark is going to come to light. It never fails.
The truth will reveal itself. And I want to add one more thing. Let me click on this other side here. Okay, so Amore and Tate, right? That's supposed to be Jasmine Eiland's childhood friend. So everything that happened to Jasmine, everything that she was going through behind the scenes, even attempted to commit suicide and was in a hospital, recovering just from her, just trauma, not, just really from all the backlash that she's gotten, just going through stuff in general. Amore and Tasha has been there for her, in the hospital. Actually, she said she was in the hospital, her blood sister was in the hospital, and Jazz's mother was there in the hospital, after she attempted suicide and hospitalized for attempting to take her life. So she was saying that the family that Jasmine came from are liars. It was like she made it seem as if they, I don't know, for a come up, they're all just looking for something, as far as with Jasmine's situation, and they haven't been there at all. Because again, I mentioned sometime during our show that she was adopted, so she don't really know her blood brothers, her blood brother, really her blood family. She don't really know them that well, but see, again, it's so convoluted because, you're hearing this and she's saying that she don't know her family that well, but then her family is saying that Jasmine's a liar and she's been setting guys up. It's like saying they have some history together. It's like saying that like the family has history with Jasmine. It's like saying they knew her, but on the other end, Amore saying she didn't really know her family like that. So who knows? But check out Amore and Tasia. She actually has her own YouTube channel, so she's advocating for Jasmine. And she's saying that all that stuff that happened in that video in the Opera nightclub actually happened, and being there for Jasmine and their childhood. And then she was speaking about the ex-boyfriend and him being abusive and clout chasing and lying on Jasmine. So it's just a lot. But definitely check that out. I mean, going to what you were saying, the truth it will come out. The truth will come out eventually. We're gonna see who's lying, who's telling the truth. There's too many holes, too many inconsistencies, half truths, half lies, all the way truths. I mean, conspiracies, clout chasing, dysfunctionality like a mug. Like, it's just a lot going on with this Jasmine Eiland story. It's just way too much going on.
With me, in conclusion, I have 2 resources because I do like to research. Okay, if you are going through any type of domestic abuse, okay, please call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Again, that is the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233, 1-800-799-7233. It is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I also have another, which is the the RAINN, RAINN.org, the National Sexual Assault Rape Hotline. It's free and confidential. Okay. RAINN, RAINN, it is the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization, and you can call them. It is free and confidential 24/7. 1-800-656-HOPE. Okay, 1-800-656-HOPE, which I'm trying to get. Okay, got the number. Got the full with the numbers in it. 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4653. This is the national hotline for if you have been sexually assaulted and raped. You can get it. It's resources out here. You don't have to feel, even though I know that you do feel that you are alone. Been there, done that. But you are not alone. You can get help. You can get to places where they will help you, where you can leave where you're at and you can get assistance and help mentally, financially. Like, you can get the help that you need. And if they can't help you, if they can't help in all areas, I'm sure that they have a database where they can find some help for you. You no longer have to be a victim. You can start your healing and your recovery as a survivor. Okay, and I know that it can take baby steps. It just breaks my heart to hear these stories where these women don't leave, and or it even comes to death. So, I'm gonna hopefully I'm gonna put these websites in the comment section, as well as these will be articles. Information that will be posted up along with
they will be available.
Yes.
Really, 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 really soon. They will be available.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
But keep on the lookout for it, though. Keep on the lookout for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. We thank you for those that did tune in. I've been looking back and forth when I'm not speaking. We thank you guys for coming in. The conversation doesn't have to stop here. If you have, yes, keep it going. If you can share resources, you can please do. If you have thoughts, comments, opinions, views, please keep the dialogue going in our comment box. I mean, this is something that happens 365. Like this is happening all the time, and it needs to stop. So
I agree.
thank you
Absolutely.
so much. Please, if you have not liked our Facebook, our Chit Chat Chew Show, LLC, if you have not liked it already, please go in and like us. Please also join our Chit Chat Chew Show podcast group. Please, if you have LinkedIn, go to our LinkedIn. Join our LinkedIn page, Chit Chat Chew Show. Chit Chat Chew Show. I forgot how the website's going to be posted up now. Is it still?
For now, until it changes, still www. It hasn't changed yet.
Okay. So right now it's still okay. Right now you can still go on as www.chitchatchewshow.com. Again, www.chitchatchewshow.com.
Absolutely. So I'm going to say this, and it's time for us to go.
Yes.
So Instagram, find us on Instagram, Chit Chat Chew Show Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure you like our page. We have a Twitter, which is at CCCS_podcast. Once again, at CCCS_podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. We tweet about us and our show. We have a YouTube, which is Chit Chat Chew Show Podcast. Subscribe to our channel. Like, comment, share. Hit the bell for notifications to get updates about our show. Make sure you leave some feedback, positive and negative. It doesn't matter. We love all feedback. All feedback is good, as far as I'm concerned, for us. So we thank you in advance anyway. And that is it. I think you said Facebook already.
I did.
Okay, so that's it for tonight.
Okay, well, people, be well. Peace and light. Remember always self-care and self-love to get to self-respect. You are not in this alone.
Nope.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Good night, everyone. Have a good one. Take care of yourself.